Today, on Be Something Wonderful, it manifests so fast when I just forget about it. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators and members, welcome back. I had a great session yesterday. This is really with an ongoing client who we've been talking through all of her major manifestations, including her SP, which I think I've shared on a video a few months ago, the perfect career change for her, money, and now this was specifically about her dream home. But in every case, as we were talking about it, she goes, Tom, it just seems to me that when I just forget about it, it comes. And we talked about, well, why is that? What's the bigger message there? Clearly there's not resistance on it. You're not thinking about it not being there. But the bigger thing is, in every case, which I pointed out to her, is that she became the version of her that was living and experiencing that reality. That's what it means to just forget about it. When you are that person living that reality, you're not focused on manifesting something, you are it. Right? It's never really, I've talked about this in many different ways, it's never really about manifesting or attracting anything. It's about corresponding and identifying with that reality, or in other words, with the version of yourself that is living that reality. Remember, every reality has an observer, and every observer has a reality. And as soon as you observe a reality, all the other infinite possibilities are no longer in view. They're still existing. There's still a version of you. They're all split off. Infinite versions of you living those other realities. But it's you focusing in on your desired reality. Right? This version of you that you're seeing. So we talked about that, and that really is the big message. And even as early today, I think one of you were responding to my video yesterday, which was about that client who lost faith, right? She's now looking for proof. Where's the proof that I'm God consciousness? I mean, I've been trying to manifest this thing for years, and now my faith is shaken. But the whole idea that I wanted to get over to this BSW subscriber is that you are the proof. Looking for proof is impossible because you are reality. And so as you demand proof, as you look for proof, as you want it to restore your faith, you're looking for something outside, some objective reality, some objective proof outside yourself that you are infinite, that you are all there is. It doesn't exist. You just create a reality of looking for proof. Right? I've hit this in many different ways in other videos, but today I want to talk about this. As long as you are focused on manifesting something, you're creating the reality or the experience of separation. As long as you're focused on manifesting proof that you're God consciousness, that everything exists within you, that 3D, that you create a reality of separation, that some proof exists outside of you. That there's some objective proof or objective reality, that there's something to manifest, to bring to you outside of you. That creates a reality of separation or an experience of separation because you're never separate, right? But you can create that experience. It creates this distance or separation between you and your desire. You are creating a limitation where there isn't one. There are no limitations. So when even you're like this subscriber that's looking for proof, whenever you're looking for proof, you're creating a limitation, right? That somehow you have to prove that you're unlimited. And that's a limitation in itself. Do you see? That's why it's circular. That's why it's paradoxical, right? That's why I get it. I get it. And that's why it can be or feel like a frustrating paradox, right? That's why what you want comes when you just forget about it. It comes when you just forget about it because you are it. And then you rest in that knowing. You've set the intention, you've imagined it. Whatever you've done internally to create that experience, it's done. So when you just forget about it, you are it. You are that reality now. You're seeing from that vantage point, right? You're seeing the world from that vantage point. You remember, you are a multidimensional, unlimited, infinite being. focused on, or in other words, manifesting, one version of yourself, of that infinite self, that multidimensional self, in reality out of an infinite number. You are living and experiencing all of these versions right now. As soon as you decide on one, like you are right now, all other versions fade away. They're still existing, and there's still a version of you living that reality. That's why you have different thoughts and emotions and desires. They're all coming from those infinite versions of yourself, right? Even those experiences of deja vu, where you think you've been there before. Well, you have, because it's a version of you that's there now. Right? All of that's you. You're infinite. I just want to really get this to you. I've talked about this in many different videos. So I really want to stay focused on this topic that, yes, creation's finished. All versions exist. All realities exist. But they're also infinite. But infinity, or this creation, is also eternally expanding at the same time. It's finished, but it's always expanding. Otherwise, it wouldn't be infinity, right? So you're a reality generator. You are a reality generator. You're creating and occupying infinite versions of yourself in reality in every moment. You're creating new ones in every moment with every new combination of thought, feeling, and emotion. That is a new reality. And yes, reality's finished. Creation's finished. But it's also expanding with those infinite number of states, of thoughts, feelings, states of being, assumptions you're making, right? They're infinite in number. The key to reality creation then is because every reality has an observer, or in other words, version of you, and every observer has a reality. You manifest your desired reality by being the version of yourself, of your infinite self, that corresponds with your desired reality. I've talked about this, but a little bit more today, right? That corresponds with your desired reality. That's the key. And you're going to say, well, how do I do that? By imagining you are that person already. It can be an imaginal act. It can be an assumption. Persistently returning to that thought, that state of what you want, that it's already within you, that you already are that. That's how you do it. We've talked about that in many different, all those types of things, right? To imagine it, script it, affirm it. You are it. So you're just affirming who you already are. You're just scripting who you already are. It's not a stretch. You're not creating it out of nothing. You're creating it that it's already there. It already exists. It's finished, but it's also being created in that moment. That's cool. So, to be the version of yourself that is experiencing your desired reality, you have to stop identifying with and holding on to your current, no longer desired reality by assuming and claiming your new identity or concept of yourself. You're hanging on. If you hang on to any part of that old you, you can't move into that new you. This is what Neville Goddard talked about, the old man, letting the old man die, and resurrecting or rising in that consciousness of your new identity, right? That's the whole message there. And so even from the subscriber that's looking for proof of that, well, looking for proof means you're in an old unwanted reality, looking for proof that there's a new one there somewhere, that you're God consciousness and that all realities are in you. You see it? You're not letting go of that old one. You're trying to move to the new from the old. You can't see it from there. You can't get there from there, right? Therefore, it's not really about manifesting or attracting your new reality or desires. You are already all that is. You're multidimensional, infinite, all that is, right? Rather, it's always about identifying with and corresponding to that preferred version of you, that new reality. So, and remember, and it's not really about whether manifestation takes time or manifests instantly. I've seen some comments on the channel recently about talking about that. Every time you talk about, is it possible to manifest instantly or in given times? You're always pointing the power outside yourself. That there's some time or some concept of linear time that exists that prevents you from manifesting things instantly. Do you see it? All the power is it's irrelevant. whether it takes time or any of that or instantly. Time is irrelevant unless you make it relevant. It's not relevant. But the only reason things take time is you're manifesting that. You're creating that with the questions, with the wondering, right? You can't get there. You can't get the answer. You've got to go within and be it. And then you are it, and it will manifest. And time is just relative, right? It's made up in 3D. It doesn't exist. You already, once you decide you are that, you are that. Right? So it's not really about whether manifestation takes time or manifests instantly. Time's irrelevant unless you make it relevant, right? And you keep making it relevant. You are all realities and all versions of yourself right now. That's why time's irrelevant. That's why we're talking about whether it takes 2 days or 3 days or 3 weeks, it doesn't, none of that makes sense. And then you hear stories of other people manifesting things in 24 hours. That may be, but it simply means they became the version of it, right? The time is irrelevant to it, right? It's the intensity with which you, here it is. It's not time, as I always say. It's the intensity with which you identify with and correspond to the preferred version of yourself. That version that's living that reality. It's the intensity of that state of being. The intensity with you feel that real, that you are that person, right? That determines how long it takes to see and perceive the desire or the wish manifested. That's the only thing that's the only time it takes, is the time it takes you to feel that intensity of that state of being, right? That's why just forgetting about it gets you there. Because once you're intensely feeling in that state, then it's done. You already are that. You're not thinking of being it, you are it, right? You can't be the new version of yourself by looking for yourself from the old version. You can't get there, from looking from the old reality. Where is it? How long does it take? Where's the proof? Right? None of that can happen. It manifests so fast when you just forget about it, because you're seeing life, you're seeing reality from that new version of yourself. And so you're not thinking of it from your old version. It manifests so fast when I just forget about it. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators and members, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for considering joining the membership channel. Thank you for liking our videos, sharing the video, sharing the channels, commenting. Your comments are always lovely and insightful. And just thank you for being here. Don't forget to consider joining the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors. That's an open Facebook group where you can open to those who join it, right? Not open to the public, but open to you, where you can join and share insight and guidance with others. That's at facebook.com/group/Be Something Wonderful. We also have a Be Something Wonderful organization page at Be Something Wonderful. You can visit us at Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kieran, or our website anytime. For all that information and more at tomkieran.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Creators and members, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. See you soon.